But I think Shawn, I think he's just maybe a little maybe too emotional right now.
But I feel like Shawn, even though this has been deemed the mature album, Shawn has always talked about a lot of the subject matter that's on this project his whole career.
No.
He's been a very emotional dude. And even before Detroit too, he was vocal on that press run of some of the mental health stuff he was dealing with. I think the disconnect really did come from, one, the Good Music breakup, and then Shawn disappearing so much. Because even between Shawn's album cycles,
you mean becoming a better person, becoming a dad,
taking care of
taking care of himself. That's what he did.
Yeah, but
but we don't care about that. We want music from you.
It is fucked. But like those moments and disappearing and taking the time to really work on yourself and heal yourself can, in turn, hurt your career.
Yeah.
That's the truth of the reality.
Insane.
But that's, I mean, we say it all the time. We love so-and-so when they get a breakup. They're about to drop the hottest album of all time. Like, artists make their best shit when they're going through the worst situations in their life.
And Shawn went from being very public with his relationships. He was dating 2 huge people. One pop star, one actress. Ariana. He was always visual even in between album cycles. He would still do features. Shawn was in the mix, whether he liked it or not, when he wasn't putting an album out. There was no disconnect of where Shawn was and what was going on.
Features and shit like that.
Yeah. And also, let's be truthful here. Being in a high profile relationship in this era is very helpful when it comes to visibility. And I won't say direct album sales, but just having your face and people caring about you every day outside of your music is helpful. It's just the world we live in. Shawn not having any of that, even though Janae is a superstar, they disappear. We don't see them together. They keep their relationship sacred, which I think is amazing for him and his, mental health. But you see the difference when it comes to sales, people talking about the project, like it doesn't connect the same way. But that's just the world we live in now, which is crazy.
I feel like everybody is selling less. So like when I look at his numbers, I get it's disappointing, but it's like I don't expect Shawn to do the numbers he was doing 15 years ago.
Nobody.
10 years ago. Nobody does it. There's like aliens that do that. You have Jay, who isn't doing the numbers he used to do. He's doing amazing numbers, but he's not doing the numbers he used to do. Drake isn't doing the numbers he used to do. Like everybody is slowly but surely declining when it comes to numbers because of the way that they're even counting album sales. So it's just kind of like, what do y'all expect from him?
There's
That Paradise was his last album that probably sold the most, right?
Yeah, but there's rules changes, which, album equivalents, we said like the bundles, obviously that saw numbers in half. There's that, the hard number, but then there's also impact, like cultural impact.
Yeah,
I'm speaking more to that, like the cultural impact, where it seems like Shawn doesn't have that anymore.
Because he's not making songs for kids. We've had this argument before, but I think that kids, and when I say kids, I mean people under the age of 30, 25. They control the music scene unless you're like a huge legacy act. So if you're not making music for kids, they're not playing it. Yeah. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. I don't think that Shawn is surprised by what he sold being the content of his album. I'm not surprised by what he sold.
Neither am I. And I mean, I know he's been in interviews saying he doesn't care about first week sales, which he's probably telling the truth. But it's definitely a conversation post-album release with your management, with your label.
Yeah.
How are we pivoting? What does the rest of my career look like now? Who's the audience I'm trying to target?
I think, and that's more what I'm speaking to, is I think they haven't identified what is the demo and how should they market towards that demo. Because right now, I think Shawn is still being marketed as to the younger crowd because it's rap, but that's not his demo.
Who else would you guys consider would have the same demo as Shawn? Like what other artists would you say?
Larry June, in terms of age, not so much like, lifestyle.
I mean, Larry has done a great job with the youth. Like his fan base is super young, which I think is amazing, especially with the type of music he makes. You figure the young kids wouldn't like that type of shit. We would like that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done a great job connecting with the kids. And, kids now are more positive than we were. So they connect with Larry Jones. He's a very positive human being. Like they like him as a person too, outside of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn, I would say, is kind of where super, but I'm the demo and my generation is not very positive.
I think Shawn still has a younger demo though. than you.
He's definitely 30s. I
Yeah.
think. I don't know if the 20s would be his highest at all. I would probably say 30 to 35 would probably be his main.
Yeah,
I just think that is, again, man, I'm just listening to music. I don't get caught up in all the other shit around it. The music that I'm listening to, project, what I heard from Big Shawn was really good. Dope songs on there, good music, still gives great bars, cadences, flows. I mean, again, sometimes things don't connect. That's part of the music business. That's part of any business when you're selling a product. Sometimes things don't connect. But I think for me personally, I think I would attach it to, from what I can see, him not having that crew or that, that team of other artists and rappers behind him. That's kind of, I think to me, that's the only thing that I can pinpoint and say, maybe it's that. Maybe he's too much of a loner now. Maybe he's too, kept to himself.
Which is cool. It's just where I think it's fucked up from the fans is when they try to discredit his entire legacy.
Which is
and like who Shawn has been.
Insane.
People have very short-term memory. But I think Shawn is in a better position than artists that are outselling him. He's on pace for what, 24K is what they said? It's not official, but that's a prediction. There's artists that sell 60 to 80K that can't sell a fucking concert ticket.
Right.
Shawn can do 24K and is going to have a sold out tour because of the fan base that he has built and the core fan base that will always support him, even if it only reflects 24K sales with streams. You'll see a big difference with his concert versus someone that'll sell 80K.
Right.
And can't get anyone to be like, yeah, I think I want to buy a ticket and a t-shirt to go see them. No, because they're just part of the new algorithm, the new playlist. Oh, I like this song. I like this artist. But they'll be replaced with someone else on that playlist tomorrow.
Right.
Shawn, even at 24K, still, to me, will be just fine with what he's done his entire career.
And Rory and I have spoken to this quite a bit. I feel like we always end up talking about Shawn in these conversations. But he's sitting within his own home. There's a gold mine between him and Janae, that 2088. I mean,
can't wait for that.
Who's to say, that's the recipe for success is the two of them. And however they want to work that out, if they want to keep, their relationship a relationship and not make it a business relationship, then, but we do know that, and Rory and I both agree that would be probably the best thing for him to do in terms of just like injecting himself back into the scene.
Yeah. But again, it's also tough too of both of them being solo artists. I'm sure Janae has a plan for what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And tying those two things in together can sometimes take 5 years because I have to do my solo album cycle. Janae has to do her solo album cycle. Then maybe we'll have time for this. Like,
I mean,
that's a 5-year process just because you both are solo artists.
That's not a bad idea. It's a very, unique thing that they have, obviously. And then the album that they did give us was some classic music on there. So that's not a bad idea. Put out solo projects, go on the road together.
Yeah.
And, perform some of the classic joints y'all got together.
Bring the kids on stage.
Bring the kids. Janae, give us all a sound bath. We need it. Why not?
She has put out quietly like some really cool like baby music shit. What's the name of it, Demaris? Like what you would
it's
like
a
genre
whole album. I'll look it up. But have you played it for Amara yet?
All the time. I just don't know what the actual genre is labeled.
How's
as.
Amara feeling? She has some slaps on there?
Yeah,
it's called
she prefers like the old Janae, but
yeah.
Sleep Soul. She calls it Sleep Soul.
Yeah.
Relaxing baby sleep music, like lullabies.
Great lane. I mean, she could be like, without being this is that, just the music, Miss Rachel.
Yeah. I mean, her stuff is just more on the calming, relaxing side rather than like straight up singing to your kids and brainwashing them. It's definitely more of like a good nap time, white noise type of situation, but it works with Amara. She likes it.
Her YouTube or a separate account?
So
that's hers.
That's smart. Good for her.
But I just hope Shawn, I mean, he's an artist, so artists do take everything personal, really, no matter which artist you're dealing with. I hope he's not taking into account the internet just doing the internet shit. Like, the internet forgets everyone's legacy and who they are.
That's why.
So
hey, Big
it's
Shawn,
not a personal thing. You can't pay attention to that.
Fuck the internet, man. You put out a dope project. There's good music on there. You seem to be in a great space mentally, emotionally. Your family is great. Your wife just went on a great tour, sold out arena. Like, listen, life
made Demaris cry.
Life is great, man. Life is great. Don't get caught up
at every show.
And these fucking internets and these fucking streamers talking shit, man. Shawn, keep doing what you're doing, man.
A selfish fan request. I would love for Shawn and Key Wayne to do like an EP.
Oh, yes.
Like their chemistry.
You okay?
That era, just like hearing their names together.
Today.
You said, oh, yes.
Hearing their names together.
I only say that when she licked the taint, my nigga. Like, you went crazy. You heard? Yo, Julian went crazy just now. Oh,
he got squirmy? Like,
yeah, like, what was that?
Because they don't miss together. Pause. They're great.
They really don't, though. Like, I feel like for the past 5 Shawn albums, it always ends up being the Key Wayne record that I like the most. My personal taste.
Yeah, they're great.
But yeah, I mean, we can wrap the Shawn topic up, but to go back to where it did connect with Shawn, 2015, Kanye was still beloved. Good Music was sort of together. He was coming out of that relationship. His single, I Don't Fuck With You, had a messy tone to it because everyone was paying attention to the relationship he was just in. Like, there was a lot surrounding Shawn that wasn't just music. And we know Shawn will deliver with music, but you can't always deliver with messy bullshit that people are gonna click. And his single was that. I Don't Fuck With You.
Simple. Amazing
record. Has a background to it. It's about another celebrity. Rest in peace. And yeah, that connects. Like, no matter what, even if you weren't a rap fan, you were like, oh, I want to hear the Shawn diss to his ex. Like, that shit was in People.
Yeah.
That's beyond the shade room.
Yeah, the world wants that negative energy.
And then you have Blessings, Peak Drake, All Your Fault with Kanye. Like, there was so much connecting with Shawn at that time. All he had to do is what he does best.
Play No
That's
Games.
Just deliver music.
Oh, come on.
Right.
Yeah, Play No Games was fucking.
I know.
You couldn't go outside without hearing.
Come on.
So,
even though the one man can change the world, I'll even let that one slide at that point.
Yeah, you need that message.
You need some. I don't. How do you go from I Don't Fuck With You to John Legend? Oh, one man can change. It's like, all right, like, thanks.
That something.
Why'd you sound like Elvis?